was definitely better. Oh, from the 2000s. Never mind.
Yeah. 2000s.
Memento?
Yeah. Machinist.
Inception? And then...
I just Googled 2000s thrillers and The Others has come up. Swimfan is better than The Others.
You and I don't have to touch on this long, but the point I'm trying to make from this article is that ultimately Swimfan was overlooked and has been for the past decade and a half. The way it dealt with a young woman not allowing herself to be a one-night stand was both poignant and groundbreaking. And so you and I don't need to touch on that aspect, right? But,
okay.
Like, unlike a woman not wanting to deal with a one-night stand, but that's not correct because she hunted this guy down. So it's not just like he didn't.
He is a victim here.
Yeah.
He's an unlikable hero, but he is a victim of her stalking. You can't really deny that.
Oh crap! I forgot to tell you. So in the beginning of the movie, there were a bunch of deleted scenes where his mom's like, "Take this." He's like, "No, I don't need it." She's like, "Take it." He goes, "Okay." So there were 3 scenes that they filmed in the movie where he can't say no to anything. And then
he just has no willpower.
Yeah, and then that's what led into his tryst with Madison because he just can't say no. He's too nice. There's 3 instances in the movie where he just couldn't say no.
Well, and he has a history of maybe that's how he got into drugs in the first place. Someone offered him drugs, he just couldn't say no, and it spiraled from there.
So
and someone offered him steroids. Maybe that's the story. Like Josh offered him steroids, and he couldn't say no.
That would have had character. That would have been character building, though. Oh, this guy can never say no. He has an addiction problem. Maybe his willpower's not too strong.
But that feels like character building in the same way that Marty McFly can't be called Chicken. It's kind of dumb.
Yeah. But at least it's something, right?
Yeah, it's better than, hey, she was close enough to kiss, so he kissed her.
Yeah.
That just feels weird.
And you notice that in the beginning of the movie, Josh is eating an apple like a jerk. And at the end, when he becomes a jerk, he starts eating an apple.
Yeah, that's... Only jerks eat apples.
Well, have you heard that trope, right? Jerks and apples?
I haven't.
Oh, so in movies, type in jerks eating apples. And there's a long history in cinema of jerks eating apples in movies.
Okay, I've not noticed this, but I will, I'll keep an eye out.
Dead serious. So, the apple symbolizes his, fall from grace, and now he's a jerk. You hadn't seen him eat an apple prior to that. It was Josh.
Yeah, so what is it about eating an apple that makes people... Is it how loud they are?
It's just an aggressive movement, right? It's kind of a big bite and a chomp and a chew.
Yeah.
Like when you eat a cherry, or no, we eat a blueberry, a raspberry, looking Dracula Dead and loving it. It's just a quick eat it. But an apple, you gotta
you're taking part of it away. You're leaving a corpse behind.
You're right, a rotten, empty core. Oh, we just got to the core of the issue.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good one. I wish I had I wish people would applaud that because that was really good, or boot it. It was worthy.
You could just leave a gap and either put in applause, booing, or just a tumbleweed going past.
Tumbleweed. Oh goodness, I love good tumbleweed.
So Ben works at the hospital, right?
Yeah.
And he goes to see his favourite patient, the only patient he's got there, Mr. Tillman.
The stock horny old guy.
Yes, right. He's a horny old guy who, when Ben says the scouts are coming, he gets all wide-eyed and pushed and sat up the Girl Scouts? This is all we know about this guy. He's a horny old man. And then why does the idea of the Girl Scouts make him happy that they're coming?
And he goes, "Are you going to hook me up with a woman?"
Yeah, I don't know the cutoff age for Girl Scouts in America. I'm guessing it's somewhere below legal.
Maybe he wants cookies?
Maybe he wants cookies. Let's just hope that's the case. He's probably not allowed them if he's in hospital.
Oh yeah, you can't have those 2 lines next to each other though. This movie did it. But how many, in the history of cinema, there's so many old guys that are just horny. Or horribly racist. That's such a trope that I'm tired of. What do you think?
It's a shorthand for, these people are out of touch, or you shouldn't like these people just because they're kind of set in their ways, they're bigoted.
Yeah.
It's not necessary here. It adds some flavor to this guy, I suppose. Or he could just be a sick old guy, but Ben could help him in ways other than giving him a nudie set of playing cards.
And what, okay, And there's a scene in this movie where Madison's angry at Ben because he's like, this has to stop. You just showed up at my house and you gave my mom flowers. This is squirrely. And she takes the club off of his car.
Yeah, it's a real low key thing to do. She took his keys. I thought, she's either going to steal his car or she's going to get a copy of his keys. Just going into his car, taking off the lock, closing the car and putting his keys back again feels like a real low key thing to do. She's like, maybe she's trying to gaslight him, but that doesn't really go very far. That's the only thing she really does to do that.
He's like, I'm losing it. That's
just from that one moment doesn't really go anywhere.
Do they know the family that she killed that guy that she's living with?
I don't know what they say. I don't think so, because when Ben goes to the room with the guy in a coma in it, they say that, his girlfriend had a seatbelt on, she was fine. So I think everyone outside of Madison blames, what's his name? Blames the coma guy.
Oh, okay. But that's interesting. And then also, that there's a deleted scene in this film where, I don't know if you noticed like the weird timing that's going on, but there is, so when he's originally in her house and she's playing a cello, that scene didn't take place at the same time.
I did wonder, because she went straight from that to trying to murder Amy.
So
which seems like an odd afternoon.
And then he originally went by himself to research it, but they're like, let's have Chris do it. So then Chris takes him and he leaves his car in her home. He's parked.
Then I did think when Chris says, let's walk, he's parked outside her house pretty much.
Yeah.
And she knows his car. So she's going to at least come out and think, that's odd. Ben's car is here. And Christopher, I heard him with somebody. 2 + 2.
Yeah.
So that seemed like an odd choice.
And also, there's a basketball scene where he's playing angry basketball. And that's the moment originally when Amy got smushed on her moped.
Huh.
So there's a montage. No, it's on the deleted scenes. Yeah, he's doing an angry basketball montage. He's getting out his energy.
Playing on his own.
Yeah.
Is this a solo angry basketball montage?
Yes.
Every film should have one.
And they're like, well, that doesn't really make sense. Like, why would he go play basketball?
Because he's angry.
That? Yeah, so he had to get his anger out.
It's about a different sport. He should be doing that angry.
So yeah, that's pretty interesting. That scene. Now, so they had to make a ton of edits in this because a lot of the stuff didn't really work, and they had to do some reshoots too because originally it was just her in the cop car, and then she got loose. And then they did the reshoot where she gets the cop's gun at the train thing and shoots him.
When she was handcuffed in the cop car and she gets out because she grabs the gun and shoots him, etc. I was waiting for her to slide a hairpin out of her sleeve and pick the lock like he had done with her locker.
Oh,
because I was expecting more from this film than it was giving me.
Well, the hairpin comes back later.
It does. That's good. That's a setup and callback.
And he saves Amy.
I thought that she was gonna get herself out through means other than the cop spilled his drink. They're distracted by a train. I'll make use of the situation. I thought she would have had a plan. But we haven't got to the topic that I thought we would have done, that you mentioned back when we were on the Lambcast talking about this, which is Madison a fan of swimming? That was your whole point back on that podcast. Is she a swim fan? Because no, she's not. She's a swimmer fan. She is a Ben fan, which is a worse title for a film.
Yeah, because what? I guess swim fan comes from her username, but she's not a fan of swimming.
No, that's just a way of luring Ben in. Like her former username was probably baseball fan.
Very like the
85.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 84.
Actually, that's it was Swimfan 85, which the fact that she's called Madison is perfect. I don't know if you know this, the trivia about the film Splash, where in Splash you have the character of Daryl Hannah whose character is called Madison because they're on Madison Avenue. And before the film Splash came out, no one was called Madison. There's a whole scene in Splash where, like, Madison, that's not a name, that's a road. But as soon as Splash came out, people started naming kids Madison. There was a spike in names of people being called of girls being called Madison in late 84 and 1985. So the fact that she's called Madison and her birthday is canon 1985 is perfect. That's one credit I can give to Swimfan.
Wow. That's pretty amazing.
And it's Splash. It's a film about swimming.
Do you think that's why she doesn't like swim? Like, she doesn't know how to swim. So do you think she knew that she got her name from that, and then she just rebelled?
Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she loves eating fish as well, just like as kind of a vengeance.
There is an angry fish eating montage in this film.
Better be. There better be. Because that's one of the cutscenes. Yeah.
It's a song by Limp Bizkit.
Which one?
It's called Turn It Up. And she's just slamming fish,
just jumping on sushi, just downing them.
But angry eating is. I never thought I'd see salmon being eaten angrily.
Oh, and when she gets to the eggs and just the caviar, that goes everywhere.
Yeah, and like the spoon.
That's not going to come out. That stuff stains.
Yeah, she was like this ferocious eating. I'm surprised she didn't take a tooth out by stabbing herself with her fork.
That's why, at the end when she goes in the pool and she kind of drowns and she sinks because she's full of all the fish eggs. She's just weighed down. Yeah,
she couldn't even swim if she tried.
No. Maybe that's it. She can actually swim. It was a ruse, but she'd eat, you're supposed to leave half an hour between eating and swimming, and she just binged on all that salmon beforehand, and it's just nothing she could do. She went to the pool, dropped off Amy, and then she went and just slammed some fish. She hit up a Yosushi, and she just took the whole conveyor. Or everything. Took it all. Did she pay? Did she pay? Of course she didn't pay. She's a psychopath. So you think she just dined and dashed? Absolutely. She's tried to kill someone earlier that day. She's gonna try again with the same person. She's not gonna stick around and pay for food. Wow. What kind of, is she eating, alright, there's variations of sushi. Is she doing like the rice covered one, or is she just doing the fish? Mark, she's taking it all. She's mainly focusing on the kind of the fish heavy stuff, but she's not going to turn it. She just has such a vengeance for any and all aquatic creatures that none shall escape her meal. Alright, so in the deleted scene, the squish noises were very loud. And they said audience... I feel like that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to eat. So sushi's not a dry food. No. So... Yeah, and then there's also a 30-second scene where she takes too much wasabi, and then she has to drink a bunch of water. Yeah, and it pains her. You can see it pains her to drink water just because it reminds her of splash. I mean, she when she puts the glass down and it makes a kind of a splash noise, just there's that pain that shoots across her face. It just that splash noise. It's haunted her whole life. What kind of liquid does she drink? It's mainly solids. I think she has like jelly, because it's not liquid at that point, but there is water in it. Cantaloupe? Isn't there water in like coconut? Yeah, it's stuff like celery. She just gets all of her water from like grapes and things. Because she hates water so much because of Ben. She just hates liquids. If you look through Swimfan, you'll never see a shot of her drinking. I wish we would have led with this, because this is pretty good. She never does. I never see her drinking. Wait, no. Yeah. Wait, no, never. When they're out for dinner, she's not eating, she's not drinking. Mark, I watched Swimfan looking out for her having a drink. It doesn't happen. So when she watches the swim meet, she watches from the upper row, because she does not want water on her. And her mouth is so dry. Yeah. So dry. Like, when she's seducing Ben, she has to go swimming. Like, it's painful for her. It's like when Gollum has the elven rope around him. When she's calling Josh Ben, is she actually trying to say Josh? She just has a super dry mouth? That's what happens if your mouth is that dry. Like, try it. Next time you're at the beach, fill your mouth up with sand and try and say Josh. It will sound like Ben. I'm going to do that. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. Alright, so any movies, films, and flicks listener, if you're by sand right now, do that and just let us know. Please. That's very interesting. She probably hated going in and talking to Amy, too, because her restaurant was on top of water on that pier. Well, but then that's a psychological thing. She likes to be above it. She thinks she's better power. Than it. Yeah. Wow. Is that why she slid that pot of water under her bed? Yeah, I mean, she likes to be close to it, but it has to be below her. Wow. So in a pinch, she will set up some like wooden slats over a bath and sleep on that, like pour some water in the bath and just kind of, it's uncomfortable, but she has to have that power. Wow. She just has to have it.
I mean, I see it, right? If you can't control many things in your life, you want to control the things you can.
Yeah, and she can always